Thanks for joining us. We know that two of the biggest problems that are out there in the business world include how to get more leads, how to get more leads for a business, and of course the whole challenge of time pressure. What I'm going to show you here is a model which is at the foundation of what we do and how we've managed to grow our own and a number of clients' businesses. But the key is I'm going to show you how to do it in ways which actually consume less time and effort than some of the traditional ways. So let's jump in. I assume that you are watching this because in some way you actually want to grow your business. And if I then ask you how you're going to grow your business, first of all, take a moment to reflect. By how much do you want to grow your business? Whether it's in percentage terms or actual monetary value, how much do you want to grow the business? And the next question that I've got for you is, if you weren't watching this, how would you propose to do it? Because typically we ask that question of a number of clients and they say, well, I'm going to make more calls and I'm going to hire more salespeople so that we can increase the amount of calls that we make, etc., etc. That is what we call the traditional model, where if I ask you to put yourself or your company, I'll just call it YC, your company over here, what these people are saying is that in order to grow your business, you need to make more calls and need to intensify your efforts to contact more people and more prospects. And of course, this is quite a challenging process because you've got to make more phone calls, more visits, do more advertising, radio, television, and other, and essentially do more things which are actually going to try and interrupt people's daily flow of events. And what we know is that because people are so time poor, they're becoming better and better at screening out unwanted calls and at pushing delete when they see an email that's from someone who they've never heard of before. You're smiling at the moment because you've probably had the same experience yourself. So what I'll do is differentiate between traditional methods, and respectfully I want to acknowledge that in the absence of a new way of thinking, a lot of businesses are still using this method and some are using it with moderate or sometimes good success. But the key is that it is very difficult, it's a very hard way, the challenging way of doing it. So what I want to show you is the Value Hub. And the Value Hub is really at the foundation of doing more business quicker, but with more ease and more effortlessly. So instead of putting yourself at the side here, I want you now to rather think of your business as at the center of a Value Hub. And as I draw the Value Hub, I'll ask you to consider who are some of the people that your business is already interacting with. So I'll give you a moment to think, and hopefully one of the first ideas that comes to mind for you is your customers. So you deal on hopefully a regular basis with your customers, but then there's other people who you would like to become your customers, but who either you're still prospecting or maybe you haven't even met yet. And I'm just going to call these people prospects. Now take a moment further to try and work out who else is already in your business, working with you, potentially around your business or through your business. Who else is your business actually dealing with on a daily or weekly basis? Give you a couple of seconds and then I'll give you some ideas. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Hopefully you put staff. These are the valued team members who are working in and for your business. But what about the potential staff? So I'll just call that PS, potential staff. These are talented and resourceful people who are not yet working for your business, but who, if they were in some capacity, would be helping to increase your profits. So the key question is, how do you find those people? How do you get them working with you, for you, through you? And who else did you have on your list of people or entities that work with you, through you? What about suppliers? These are people who actually supply goods or services to you. And maybe you have some alliance partners. Of course, there's the media. So you can see there's quite a few parties that could be privy to this game, your Value Hub. And the key right here is to ask the question of how can you facilitate value? So how can you add more value to the people who are part of the Value Hub? Because that is how you're going to attract attention and positive attention. And that's how you'll be able to draw good and talented people, businesses, and of course prospects, new customers, to your business rather than playing the traditional game, the hard game. And you might be sitting there thinking, wow, that sounds good, but how do I actually do that? Well, the first thing to consider is you already have some customers. How much value would you be adding to those customers if you found a way to introduce them to each other? And you might be saying, introduce my customers to each other, why would I do that, or how would I do that? What about something as simple as a networking lunch? What if you managed to get the peering right so that you have people who'd meet each other that have some kind of common interests, and you just organized a lunch at which you don't present anything, and you get people talking to each other and they start discussing challenges, problems, maybe even opportunities to work together? That for us has been one of the most effective ways of generating new business. But don't just stop at thinking, okay, it's only customers that I want to meet each other. What if you were able to get a couple of prospects to join one of those networking lunches? Or what if you were to present on a topic of interest? Maybe you have specific knowledge in your field which would be of interest to a number of people. You could invite not only your customers, but you could give them the privilege of adding some value to some of their associates by allowing them to invite one or two colleagues or business associates. These are people who you've never met. And if it's under a specific topic, then people would only attend if they're interested. And where I'm going with that is, if they attend, they're already in some way qualified. They're already a qualified prospect in that they are interested in what you're about to talk about. What that means is that you don't need to play the hard game of trying to find out who are 1,000 people that I can call, so I can find out who are the 20 interested people, so I can put out 2 proposals to get 1 sale. You get where I'm going. By doing it this way, you're actually attracting people towards you who are qualified. You're doing it in a way which takes less time and resource. You might still be asking, okay, well, networking lunches is one way. What else could I do? Well, I've mentioned you could talk on topics of interest. And in terms of talking, wouldn't it be amazing if you had the skills to follow a recipe every single time you deliver a talk? So you could talk with confidence and know that you'll get an outcome every single time. And here's a key: when you're doing these kinds of talks, whether it's talking at someone else's event or hosting your own event, you don't want to be seen as a salesperson. Here's a key, so I'll slow down. You actually want to be seen as an educator. A company, a person or an entity that adds value. Because you see, if you're adding value and you're providing education and tips and tools, people are liking it and they're using it and they're getting value, they'll be coming back for more. And not only will they come back for more, they'll tell other people about it. And so you're creating your value hub. So another key point to mention is, if you're educating people, then not only are they mixing with you, but they're seeing you again and again, which means that they're starting to get to know your company, they're starting to get to like your company. And what that means is they're a lot more likely to buy from you when they're ready. Because if you present a mind-blowing idea and then you don't keep in touch at all, well, you've given someone an amazing insight, but over time, they will probably buy those goods and services from someone else. You've sown the seeds, somebody else reaps the harvest. So think about how you can use video in your business. If you haven't already started working with getting video testimonials and putting those on your website, you might really want to think about how could you do that, because that's a super time saver. And what we know is that credibility is one of the key points of enticing people to buy from you. We're talking here about results. So write this word down, write this sentence down. Results, and my ability to show prospects the results that I've already achieved is one of the strongest determinants of new business and of people coming to you. Now, how do you show results? Ideally, it's not you talking about your results, it's someone else. So think about a customer of yours that you did something really cool for. If they are prepared to stand and give a video testimony, which you then put on your website, prospects will see it, staff will see it and get excited. So you've got customers now communicating with your staff. Potentially these people will flick it to other people that they know. So that's potential staff who are starting to find out what it is that you do. And what you're actually doing in this process is you're snapshotting the value that you've added, and you're finding ways. Think about it as you're putting little yellow noted bits of paper with the value that you've added on all the different windows and all different points in a shopping mall. And people are walking around the shopping mall, and when they see this little yellow noted and they see where it came from, they're inclined to come to the shop. And this shop is you, your business. And I'm sure you're starting to catch on how the game works. You actually get customers talking to each other, to prospects, to staff. These people will talk with suppliers, suppliers will talk with each other. You will likely engage alliance partners, and if it's really interesting and there's a cool story in some of these things, who knows, the media might get involved. And so what you're doing is you're actually adding value, you're finding out ways to add value to the players in the Value Hub. And by doing that, you're facilitating contact to your company and through your hub. And here's another really cool thing. When these people talk to each other on online forums, etc., that you've set up, you can actually watch what they say. Wouldn't that be a really cool way to get customer feedback and to keep your ear to the ground and know what's going on? Something I'd really like you to think about. You know, we mentioned all these traditional ways of getting business, advertising, whether it's TV, cinema, radio, finding ways to make more calls, sending mail outs and all these kinds of things. Do you know that a 2% return on a mail out is considered to be an extraordinarily good result? Whereas if you do some of these Value Hub activities, we have a particular client who got 46 people in a room. From the 46 people, he had 10 interested parties take up his offer. This was an educational talk that he gave. What an amazing example of a Value Hub activity. He gave an educational talk. At the end, 10 different businesses took up the offer. And within 48 hours, they had a sales pipeline, I'm talking new business opportunities, of around $400,000. Now, that might sound like a huge result, but actually, if you follow the principles and you implement some of these things, it's achievable by any business. And a really cool example that comes to mind for me in terms of a company that's implemented this Value Hub exceptionally well, it's actually Google. If you think about it, Google started out as a search engine. So they were here and they were providing search engine functions to a set of customers. If you think about it now, they add a whole lot more. There's street directory, there's road maps, they're taking photos of people's houses. You know, a lot of people can go and have a look and see a photo of your own house on Google. There's communications, there's Gmail, there's documents, there's collaboration tools. So really what they're doing is facilitating value, and when you think about it, they get more than 1 billion people coming into and through their Value Hub every single month. Do you think it would be a lot easier to generate business, secure more clients, and make a hell of a lot more profit if you had that many people converging on or through your business? Sure it would. Another awesome example of adding value in this method, Facebook. Millions of people connecting through the Value Hub based on small value propositions. Communities, catch up with your old school friends, etc., etc. Just adding value and facilitating value. So, key message I want to leave you with is this is a really simple system. Yes, it is as simple as it looks. And a key from here would be just to work out what's one step that I can take. And maybe it's as simple as I'm going to invite 5 of my customers who may have similar challenges or problems to lunch, to have a chat with each other and potentially to develop some relationships and prospects between them. What a great starting point. We actually have recorded the next video which we can show you, in which we reveal the 3 secrets of how to make more money and save time, again using a replicable system. Incredibly easy, really, really easy to follow the system. And in fact, to get the system, again, free of charge, you can have it, there's no catches. You're very welcome to use it, and if it benefits your business, fantastic, that's helping us fulfill our mission. All you need to do to see the video, it's a little bit longer than this one, is click on the button below, in which we will ask you your email details, and we will flick you the URL, the link, where you can actually go and watch the video. It's a little bit longer than this, but again, should really help you to understand what's the difference between sales and marketing, and how can I save huge amounts of time, again by using video and other value adds to educate my customers. So we'll give you the next level of detail around here, and again give you some very practical steps that you can implement so that you can already start to feel the difference within your business. Thank you, and once again, good luck.